All right. So we're moving on to the co-main now. We've got a very what feels like a really significant, important lightweight scrap, especially with the way the division is now. Dustin Poirier and Benoit Saint Denis, and again, Saint Denis. What a great fight. We both spoke about Benoit quite a lot when we talked about the fights we wanted to see. He was one of the rare names that came up on both of our tickets as somebody that we wanted to see go to war with somebody. And boy, is he being thrown in the deep end here.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Now, what's surprising me about this one is a lot of people, maybe I'm not surprised. I mean, a lot of people are picking him to get it done. And I totally understand this. You know, Poirier just got KO'd. He's aging. And Saint Denis is incredibly tough. You know, he's got the heart of a lion. Really well-rounded, really dangerous. I don't like Dustin Poirier. You know this. I think he's an absolute wet wipe. But for some reason, I can't get Benoit's fight with Aleski dos Santos out of my mind. He got so outclassed in that fight badly. I know it was a weight class up. It was one of the worst beatings I've ever seen. And as great as Benoit has looked, who's he beating this elite? You know, he got in a firefight with Frivola. He caught him. He got quite scrappy with Thiago Moises, who is he's fine, but he's not elite. Now, the Ismail Bonfim fight, I thought was a weird one because Ismail came in there very, very arrogant, and he basically let him kick the shit out of him. Clearly didn't respect him until he realized, hang on a second, this guy's actually good, and it was too late. But what kills it for me though is they've got Poirier as plus 200, and this is a 5-rounder. It's a 5-rounder,
which he requested.
Benoit's gone 3 rounds twice in his whole career, and in one of them he got absolutely abused. Like, I actually want Benoit to win. I love the dude. This is such a big step up. Like, I hope he gets it done. I just think Poirier is going to drag him into deep water, and I think he's going to win later on in the fight. And at plus 200, I can't ignore that. I've made a parlay already, and I've got Poirier in it. That's where I am.
Yeah. Well, Dustin Poirier is my favorite current fighter on the roster. And so me picking against him is very difficult. And in any time that I pick against him, it's for very logical reasons. In this particular case, I feel that Benoit Saint Denis is well equipped to be able to walk away with a win, but it's something about the knowledge of being in a 5-round fight, like somebody who's been there before, who knows where to dig deep, how to rest, when to take time off, when to breathe, when to get your mental in the right place. And Dustin Poirier has done this over and over and over and over again. And I don't think that in his case, his skills have eroded to the point where Benoit Saint Denis can really take advantage. You know, when we saw Jorge Masvidal against Gilbert Burns, you could tell his skills had eroded in the sense of his timing. His timing was just not there anymore. And when we saw Dustin Poirier last against Justin Gaethje, leading up to that kick, nothing looked wrong. Nothing looked wrong at all. And he just got caught with that kick. And that's what happens. Yeah. I think that Dustin Poirier, he teaches him the art of the 5-round fight. And this, with a loss, this is actually going to make Benoit Saint Denis better. And he's going to take this loss and he's going to come back even more vicious. And then we will really then we'll really see Benoit Saint Denis and see the run. So I think that this is a loss that he needs to have. But I am going Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, again, very difficult. I actually thought you might go with, because I forgot how much you love Poirier. I also think, I think what you said about the Gaethje fight is bang on as well. I think he looked sharp. I think he looked great early on in that fight. And I think the big problem that he had in that one was that, obviously with him having beaten Gaethje before, he had this aura about him, or this arrogance about him, like he just had to go out there and get it done. And I think he underestimated how much Gaethje had improved since then.
Yeah,
you know, and I don't even mean in terms of his. Yeah, I don't think even in terms of his fight skill, but in terms of his fight mentality. You know, Gaethje had patient Gaethje.
Yep. And I think you know what, like on that note, like it wasn't like total arrogance in a sense, but it was like, you can't put me away with one shot. And the shot that he did put him away with, that kick, it was partially blocked. But because of the power of Gaethje, it went right on through, wrapped around his head, and sat him down. And it's not something that I think that Dustin thought could even possibly happen, because he thought he had already felt his power. So it was unfortunate, but I don't think that will hurt him here. I think that he'll be fine. I think that he has one more attempt at a championship run left in him. And this is going to be a stepping stone to get back into that conversation. Yeah,
very dangerous fight to take. And, you know,
very.
Again, as you said, I wouldn't be shocked if Benoit got it done. But I think this is it's a big step up so soon. And again, I will just quickly add as well, Poirier has been in multiple 5-round fights, and he's only actually been to the 5th round twice, which I was quite surprised in looking this up. But it's what you said about their mentality. It's being in those 5-round fights over and over again, and thinking about how to manage that. Whether you get there or not is irrelevant, but knowing what you need to do and being in that position is so. Benoit's first fight being against a guy like Poirier, I think it's a big ask.
Big one.
I hope he gets it done.
Big one.
I know you don't, but I hope he does.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he loses embarrassingly.
You'll be the first person I message when he's out cold, arse up, messaging you immediately. I'll be like, I'm glad I got this wrong.
And I'm going to be sitting here with my Dustin Poirier war hat on, and I'll just take it off and tip it to Benoit Saint Denis if he wins. But I don't think I'll be doing that.
Yeah, I don't think you will be either.